Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. This video isn't one that I initially planned on filming. I actually posted on my stories yesterday that we've had a few wins with my daughter Audrey, who is 4 years old. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you would have seen last week I got quite emotional over on my stories. Talking about how we were having a really difficult time with Audrey and her behaviour. Honestly, it's so hard to describe what was happening. She had become, it was honestly like she was a different child. I didn't know who she was. Her behaviour, her outbursts, her tantrums were completely uncontrollable. She was violent, she was aggressive. She said things that I would have never heard her say, or any of us have ever heard her say before, and they were quite shocking. I spend most of my days and nights just in absolute tears, not even knowing what to do or where to start. And we've come across a few things that have really helped, so I reached out to see if anybody else was interested in me filming what we've done, and there was quite a lot of yeses, so that's what I'm going to do. I am by no means an expert at all. I'm just an ordinary mama who was struggling and didn't know what to do. So here's what we came across that worked for us. And if it can help somebody else, I would love that too. So yes, she's 4 in 2 weeks. She is a sweet, loving, incredibly intelligent young girl. But I don't know what's caused the switch in her behaviour the other week. There is apparently such a thing as 4-year-old tantrums, and this was just insane. If something wasn't going her way, she would lose her mind. She would yell, she would scream, she would throw things across the room. She was physically violent. Like there was one day there that I had like slap marks all over my back and say some really nasty things. My first tip, I suppose, or what worked for us, wasn't even planned. Hang on a sec. Okay, so the first major thing that changed, I suppose, was not even, like I said, planned. I was just at my wit's end and she wasn't listening to anything we were asking or telling her to do. The disciplinary actions we were using weren't working. So one day I was just like, that's enough. I said to her, I essentially grounded my 4-year-old. We'll put a ban on things, I suppose. I took away what she loved doing the most. She loves TV, and I took it away. I said, that's it. There is no more TV for a week. That is your punishment for this behavior. No TV for a week. There was no books at bedtime. This was our day. After dinner, it was bath, it was bed. We would sit and we would talk, but there'd be no books. There was no TV for a whole week. And this initially hit her really quite hard. There was, for a few days there, tantrums over not being able to watch TV. And I suppose I don't blame myself. I'm not angry at myself for this. I don't feel guilty about this. It's an easy trap to fall in, to put the TV on when you need to get stuff done. Especially having a young baby as well. It was so easy for me when I needed to go and pop him to bed or get him food, change his nappy, give him a bottle, to pop the TV on for her because it kept her entertained while I had to do what I needed to do. And I didn't realize how much this had affected her until I took it away. And I suppose that was a real eye-opener for me as well, how much she was watching TV. It was really hard, I suppose, the first few days for her and for me to be strong as well with taking it away when I just was like, I got to get dinner done, or I just need to get Connor to sleep, and not resort to the TV. Now, about 4 days in from no TV, she stopped asking for it. Like the first thing she would do in the morning was, Mummy, can I watch my shows? And I'd be like, yep, because I need to get everything else sorted for the day. By about, the 4th day, she stopped asking to even watch the TV, and she would take herself downstairs into the playroom. She would just set herself up at her art table and she would just paint, or she would draw and write, or she would role play with her babies and dolls. And I just watched it unfold, and it was like overnight she just realized, okay, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting my way, I better find something else to do. And I noticed such a shift in her behavior from that day. So taking the TV away also meant I had to be more prepared and I had to be more organized. I had to make sure that I was well organized for my day with Connor and Audrey so that I could be engaged with her so that she wasn't getting so bored. So we would sit and color together. We would all sit in the playroom and play together. We would sing songs. We would read books. And it was just actually so beautiful. At first I was so scared about, oh my God, how am I going to keep her entertained all day? How am I going to get things done? And it just ended up happening naturally. But the key was I had to be organized. So I started prepping bottles the night before, meals the night before. I would make sure that her playroom was clean and set up every night before bed so that when she woke up it was fresh, it was ready to go, it was a clean, inviting space. And she became so much more creative, and I started to see her return, and those tantrums had dramatically lessened. So it was literally no TV for a whole week, nothing. We're in our second week now. We've slowly reintroduced some screen time. So, hello. You got a present for me?
It's upstairs.
Okay, Mummy will come up in a minute.
No.
Yeah? Sorry, she had a surprise for me. She made my bed and cleaned my room. Go figure. Anyways, so this is the second week now, and we've started to slowly reintroduce TV and screen time. But it is very minimal. There are rules, she knows the rules, there are timers set. So she gets at the moment 3 30-minute blocks throughout the day to watch TV. So I'll grab my timer here it is. So I just got like a cheap kitchen timer from like Kmart or whatever, and we set that for 30 minutes when she starts watching TV, and when that goes off, it's time to turn it off. So at the moment, she just knows she's had one lot, then she can have them whenever she likes, but generally I try to do 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes around lunchtime, and then 30 minutes in the afternoon, and that's all she gets. And sometimes we might watch a family movie together or something like that. But I also now try to be with her while she's watching TV, talking about what's on TV and making it interactive for us both, not just her being plonked in front of the TV. Now, she is, however, going to be getting for her birthday in 2 weeks a like tablet, iPad type thing, which I've been quite nervous about, but I'm still getting it for her. I'm in control of what's on it. So there's only like educational games, and that will be still built into her 3 times 30 minutes blocks. So instead of the TV for 3 times a day, she's going to be able to spread that out into whatever she chooses, whether it's the tablet, the TV, but it's still only 3 30-minute blocks. And what I am going to create when that happens is like something to hang up on the wall, like, and label it Audrey's screen time, and she'll have 3 like stickers, and she can take one off once she's had her first 30 minutes. So then she knows she's got 2 left, and she can choose whether that's going to be the tablet or the TV. So that has been, honestly, I think the biggest change in her behavior was minimizing her screen time. Next thing I looked at was her diet. Now, she doesn't eat a lot of junk, but she's definitely a snacker. Like, she has a snack tub in the pantry that's labeled for her with snacks that I was more than happy at the time for her to go and grab as she pleased and eat, because they were snacks that I purchased and were happy with. However, I did start to really notice that she wasn't eating actual meals. She was snacking all the time. So what I did was moved that snack box so that she just can't come and get it as she pleases. She still eats them, but they are with a meal that I've prepared for her. So she has scheduled meals, obviously breakfast, she has a scheduled morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, and dinner, and she can have those snacks alongside those meals. Or if she is still hungry after that, she can go and have something. How I've also started making more again of my own food. So I've been making homemade muffins, protein cookies, smoothies. She's been having, like, I've been making things like zucchini slice, and making sure that she's just eating more substantial food, rather than just snacks all the time. And because she ate a lot of things like yogurt and fruit, which aren't necessarily bad, but they are things that are quite high in sugar content. So she's now on a more like natural Greek yogurt with fruit type things as well, so minimizing that sugar intake. Apple juice has been removed, things like that. So I think that has had a huge change as well. The other thing is that we've implemented is oils and affirmations. So these are from a brand that I've loved and have been using for quite some time. I'll see if I can link them below, but I found them on Instagram. They're an Australian company, and it's called 123 Nourish Me. So I got these oils. So one is called Calm Down and one is called Confidence. Because she's also been having a lot of trouble with going to daycare. She's had quite a few changes happen at daycare, and she's not been wanting to go, tantrums, screaming, all of that kind of stuff as well. So I got her these, and we've spoken about what they're for. So Confidence one she pops on in the morning before we start our day, or before she goes to daycare, and we've talked about that this makes her feel brave and strong and confident. And then she's got the Calm Down one for when she's starting to feel overwhelmed, angry, or emotional. I don't know if it's mind over matter or what, but wow, honestly. The first day she used this before daycare, I was like, this is going to make you feel brave and strong and whatnot. And we got there and she's like, I'm so brave and strong, mummy. And she went to the teacher with no hassles, waved goodbye, and off we went. And as soon as Nick got home from work that day, she just ran up to him and she was like, Daddy, I used my new oils today and I was so brave and strong. I went to my teacher and I was happy all day. So this has been amazing. I love them. Another thing I've been doing is diffusing my Harmony oil throughout the diffusers in the home throughout the day. This is just so zen and calming. Don't know if it helps her much, but it truly helps me. It has me in a more like calm state of mind so I can deal with things better. And affirmations. So this set as well I got from 123 Nourish Me. So these are beautiful cards full of different affirmations. So there's like a morning mantra that we read in the mornings. There's a nighttime one that we read as we go to sleep. And then there's just like a whole bunch of other ones that you can pull out. There's words that you can say back. And they're absolutely beautiful, and she's loving them. And it's just so nice to be able to have different ways to talk to each other and lift her up, rather than like we have been lately, constantly being angry at her and telling her off all the time. So it's just so nice to have had this change. So these have been a huge game changer for us as well, and 100% like the oils have like changed our lives. Disciplinary wise, what we were implementing was, if she was to do any of those things that I mentioned at the start, be aggressive, yell, swear, be rude, say nasty things, she was sent straight to her room, and the door was closed. She would stand straight to her. I would stand on the other side of the door. Initially she would go into her room and she'd be really angry and she'd yell, she'd kick the walls, she was throwing things across the room, throwing things at the door, and I would just wait for her to calm down. I was talking to her on the other side of the door, like, sweetie, you're okay, I'm here for you, let's just calm down, sit on your bed and I'll come on in, we'll have a cuddle and we'll talk about everything. And eventually she would do that. At the start, anything that was thrown across her room left her room. I think she really needed to learn that there were consequences to her behavior, not just you're in trouble. So those things, like it was her like makeups and her dolls for a dollhouse and things like that, that were, if there were anything that was on the floor in there that had been thrown, I picked up and it left the room. So she very quickly learned that this meant this is a place for her to go and calm down for a moment. It wasn't necessarily you're in timeout, you're there forever. It's like, no, this is your space to go and calm down, just relax for a moment, and then we'll talk about it. She stopped throwing things because she knew she would lose them, and she just now goes in. I don't even need to shut the door. She goes in, she sits on her bed, and she just calms down, and then we talk about it. So they're the things that we've implemented that have changed our life drastically. But first and foremost, I cannot even stress that the screen time was our biggest issue without even realizing it. So we've now, every day's not perfect, but they're so much better, and I can see my girl has come back. And we're just so happy with the change that we've seen, and as nerve-wracking as it was, it's worked out so much for the better. So let me know if you liked this video, if it's helped you in any way. If you've got any tips yourself that I have not mentioned, please leave them in the comments, because I'm all for learning new strategies. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram. I share so much over there about my babies and our daily life. And I will also try and tag below the companies where you can buy this stuff from. So hope you enjoy this, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.